Yes, good afternoon, all of you. So yesterday we have started discussion for paper 4, that is ethics, integrity, aptitude. In the last class we have discussed syllabus. I hope you have gone through papers, previous year's papers. It doesn't seem that anybody has even bothered to go through the previous papers. Okay, anyway, so yesterday we have discussed the concepts of values, ethics, and morals. So what are the values? How do you define the values? Okay, something that is important for individual or for group of individual. Okay, so first we have seen what are the values, and then later on we have discussed how the values are the foundational stones for the ethics and morality. Ethics and morals are the domains of right and wrong, whereas value is something to which people attach importance. Okay, something which is important for individual or group of individual. Out of that we have discussed, that is, if a domain of ethics and morals, this is a domain of right and wrong. Now we have also discussed that values depends upon the different. Yes, they are changing also, they are universal also. But when we are saying changing, it means that there can be different values for different societies. Okay, as per the society, culture, religion, place, context, values keep on changing. But at the same time, there are few values, so-called core values or the human values, which are remain constant or which are upholded by irrespective of any different culture. Now likewise, if the values are different, then ethics and morals also are different, because ultimately the values are the foundational stone for the ethics and morals. How do you define the ethics? How do you define ethics? Yes, first you write it is a principle of right and wrong. These two words common to all. That is a standard of right and wrong. Okay, these are both are standard of right and wrong, and the only difference is this is societal in origin, whereas this is individual in origin. Okay, again I have said, unless asked otherwise, both are interchangeable. Okay, both are domain of right and wrong, and these are sort of a guiding. We have seen many significances, but all can be classified broadly into two. That is, one is to provide the guidance, they are source of guide with respect to right and wrong, or they are source of evaluation of right and wrong. Now what is this guide and evaluation? If an individual person is there, okay, for him, before the action, before he takes an action, before he takes a decision, ethics and morals will guide him that this is the right thing to do, and public will evaluate him that whether he has done the action. So ethics and morals will be the force for him to guide a particular action, that his action should be a righteous action, and public will also evaluate. So ethics and morals help in guiding the people, as well as it is help in evaluation. Guiding में हमने देखा था, when everybody will be guided by the ethics, then it will create a stable, peaceful society, harmonious society. Okay. Also we have seen eudaimonism. Eudaimonism is, that is a sense of happiness. It gives us sense of empowerment, sense of happiness if you do right things in life. Okay, there's an inherent in the human beings that we should do right, and after doing the right things we feel happy. Okay, so this is something also we have seen the significance why at all we follow ethics and morals in life. Then finally we have seen the contradiction. There are few cases where ethics come in contradiction with the morals. Okay. And then answer is, depending upon the context, at times ethics will have an upper hand, whereas few other times the morals will have an upper hand. Ethics generally, whenever there is a professional ethics and organizational ethics and you belong to a particular profession, so you have to follow the ethical principles. Otherwise, if you are very rational, then it's a morals. most of the times they are not contradictory, because we have seen essentially the relationship between ethics and morals, because morals are nothing but the product of socialization. So whatever the ethical principles that are there in society, those ethical principles are imbibed in the form of morals, and morals after codification become ethics. Okay, so this much we have discussed yesterday. Last point I think was the significance of values, right? क्या था last point क्या था? Importance, significance of values, morals and ethics. Okay. In fact, these values also shape the attitude, which is the next chapter. We are not starting that. In fact, so many things are remaining in the first. But attitude is something what we actually do. Okay, this is something what ought to be done. Ethics and morals, we know that this is good thing to follow. But what actually follow is a product of your attitude. Are you understanding? Let me see that, let me tell that where to put all these things, because all the things are very closely related. Attitude ultimately reflect into the behavior. Actual behavior is a product of his attitude. So ethically he knows that this is good thing I should do, but in spite of the, let's say for example, you should have a tolerance towards the different religion, okay, or you should consider everybody as equal. This is a moral and ethical principle. But you may be a product of such a socialization where there is narrow values are inculcated in you. So your attitude is very narrow in a sense that you think that your religion is superior and the other religion has no role to play, or it should not exist. So in such situation, in spite of the fact that moral is about having a religious tolerance, but you are essentially intolerant because your attitude is a very narrow. So attitude actually decide your behavior. Attitude itself, value help in determining the attitude. अगर आपकी value parochial value है, आप communal value है, not a secular value and communal value, and within that communal value also you are extremist. So obviously your behavior, yes, will show that, and somebody will evaluate against the ethics and morals that your behavior is not up to the mark. So if you put all these values, ethics, morals and attitude into one particular place, so values will be the foundational stone. Through the different process of socialization, when values give rise to the attitude, this is the process of socialization. Now this can be a narrow values also, traditional values, narrow values, conservative values, parochial values. So if you are a product of such culture which do not support the modern constitutional legal values, then obviously your attitude will be narrow. And if you are a product of the modern culture, modern society, modern family, okay, liberal society, rational society, so obviously it will get reflected. So attitude will get reflected into the behavior. So this is a broadly, you should remember that values as a foundational stone for the ethics, morals and attitude. Okay, now write the next. In fact, this was just what we have discussed yesterday. So now write the determinants of values, oblique, morals, ethics and attitude also. Determinants, what that determines? What that determines is actually what is your value system. So if your value system is modern, your ethics and morals will be modern, your attitude is also modern. If your value system is parochial, then right and wrong judgment is also based upon narrow criteria, and your behavior is also a reflection of your attitude, which is a narrow reflection. So here we are trying to understand that what are those points or forces or the determinants which shapes our ethics, morals, attitude, values. Okay. Now, yes, can you tell from where this comes from? Like, what are the determinants? Yes, family is a very important part because that's the first agent of socialization. School, yes. School, society, friends. Friends is peer groups. Media, yes, very good. Social media these days, okay. Education. So write determinants. You can make this diagram, determinants of values, And what are the determinants of value will be naturally the determinants of ethics, morals, and attitude. Because when value gets socialized, it becomes a part of your attitude. So you can make this like some are at individual level, some are at organizational level, and some at national and country level. So at individual level, what are the forces? Individual level. So naturally, family is the most important one. First, family, then school, or I'm writing it as education. As friends, that is, we are writing it as a peer group. Okay, your peer. Then culture or oblique religion. They are the four most important, okay, since inception of your life, as family, school, peer group, culture. Okay, apart from that, obviously is इसी के नीचे है, as a media. It's a big term like mass media. So here, print media, electronic media. Okay, it's a mass media. You can write common. Mass media में is a press or journalism. Huh? Yes, yes, certainly. So we'll write that. So write this mass media, peer, entertainment, music, etc. Mass media. Next, social media you can write. Social media. And then finally you can write idols, leaders, as well, political, inspiring figures. Idols in life, that if you have some idols, obviously you get inspired from such people. Idols, leaders, inspiring figures. Okay, so this is at individual level. This is in fact the product, the process is called process of socialization. Okay, through the process of socialization or enculturation, the different values will get imbibed, different parts of life. Okay, since childhood to this school, peer, culture, media, social media, and the different leaders, etc. Yes, what you are not understanding, please ask. What is peer? Discuss करेंगे. You haven't heard peer group. How many of you don't know peer? Okay. Yes, who knows peer group? One who is your friend circle, core friend circle. Okay, one with whom you eat, drink, okay, hang out. That's your peer group. Okay, your close-knit circle is a friend circle. Okay, so that's your peer. Yes, second is that once see the whatever may be your socialization, you join when organizational values will also be there. There are organizational and professional ethics. So second level is the organization or oblique profession that you join. This is a second influence at professional level. This may be a part of your individual level socialization, but profession will also have certain value system. Yesterday we have discussed. Yes, can you tell me some of the examples? Yes, doctors' professional ethics, lawyers' professional ethics, police professional ethics. So irrespective of whatever the thing that you have in life, there are minimum bare things when you become a part of profession and organization, depending upon what profession you join. And then something when it comes to a country, okay, nation or state, there are certain values we will discuss here. Okay, what are the things? Now let's start with this socialization, and first is the family. Few values we are going to obviously discuss. See, question can be, although the UPSC do not ask the direct question, but straightforward one question can be, what are the different determinants of ethics or values and how they shape the behavior of an individual? This can be one question. Second question, they can simply pick up family as an agent of value inculcation. Discuss the importance of family as an importance of ethical source, or school as an important. Peer group, very less likely they can separately ask. Religion, they can ask religion and ethics. These days media also they can ask. Here they can ask, narrate one inspiring figure of your life who has inspired you the most, and what are the different ethical values that you have learned from any particular figure that you revere the most in your life. So likewise the question can be asked. Okay, so please keep in mind the questions. In fact, this question was asked already. Okay, the one which I have mentioned in the end, that tell to one personality of your life which has inspired you. What are the values that have inspired and how they are being useful for you? Okay, let's start with the family. Family. As in fact, write some of the general points. These are open-ended things. Okay, you have all the field open, how to write, etc. But I'll give you some of the hints. Okay, right? The family. Family is the first agent of socialization. This is the first agent of socialization. Bullet form में लिख सकते हो आप. Okay, first agent of socialization. First agent है इसलिए it becomes all the more important. Also write second point, that role of family starts with the birth, and values get inculcated, from the inception itself. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, see, if you are an adult, you already have something in your mind. Changing the values or imbibing the values here is very difficult, because you have to erase the values and then imbibe the new values. But why family is more important? Because yes, influence is very large, because you don't have anything to question. So whatever is being imbibed, okay, that becomes a part of your value system. In fact, not only value system, slowly you try and understand that whatever is being imbibed by value is to be true. Okay, in fact, truth should not be the like true and false. You become so radical to an extent that what is taught by parents is become a only thing that should be correct. So you tend to lose that flexibility. That's why the importance of family is very high, because it is in the formative stage of life. Okay, formative stage of life. That is, its influence starts since inception. Okay, or its role starts immediately after the birth. That is, we generally put it as formative stage of life. Next point you can write that हाँ सभी, अरे जितने भी negative है, जितने भी positive है. If there is a negative influence. If positive influence. Fundamental values. It depends upon again the family which values they imbibe. Okay, it depends upon the kind of the family they imbibe the values. Okay. No, it may be also, see, no, whoever is defining it is considering as to be right. Then rest of the people will have other righteous ways of defining the things. They will apply and they say that this is unethical. See, for you, when you are defining, it is ethical and right for you. But for other, there may be certain other criteria. When they apply, they may call you unethical. No, not neutral. It is from point of view of whoever is saying. If you are saying this is the right thing to do, whoever is defining, when it is defined by individual, he is considering it as moral. to be followed in life. But what he considered to be right may not be necessarily what the world think is right. So world is going to analyze, evaluate based upon modern values. ठीक है? What do you think? Raising must be there. Okay. So do it. इतना टेक्निकल नहीं जाना है यार. मतलब the one who is giving the birth or the one who is raising. Okay, both of them. Okay, surrogate mother रहेगा तो फिर अब क्या रहेगा? Whether the surrogate mother will not be there. Okay, during her pregnancy, has she imbibed certain values? Family is family. Okay, that's it. Extended family भी हो सकती है, nuclear family हो सकती है, joint family हो सकती है, ठीक है? So we will see that. Yes, what you have written is that it is a first agent of socialization. It's all the more important because it is during the formative stage of life. Therefore, it's become more significant. Next, you can write. There is an emotional investment. There is emotional investment when family imbibes value. There is an emotional investment when family imbibes value. Family imbibes value. This leads to more strength, giving more strength to the values, more strength to the values. That is, intensity with which you hold the values is very strong. See, for example, if somebody from the person who is not known to you, a strange person is telling you any value, you will hold those values, but that value may not be so dear to you. Tomorrow, if somebody will have a discussion with you and he may say that somebody what you are holding is not absolutely true. So in that case, it's very easy to convince you. But when the family values are there, it becomes more of a towards absolutism. Because there is an emotional investment. It's like my father has said it, my mother has said it, my grandparents had said it. I know that this is to be true. So the more and more intensity is there, more and more rigidity will be there with respect to values. We are not saying that rigidity is not wrong always. If it is good value, say for example, you are a man of honesty and integrity, and if there is a rigidity with respect to, then nothing wrong about it. Because if there is a political pressure in future, you will not budge to the pressure. But think of if you have certain parochial values, like your family only has imbibed that your religion is superior and other religion are not. So think of if the intensity of this particular value is very high, then it will be very difficult to negotiate with the modern values. Are you understanding the importance? When I'm saying emotional investment, it means that there is a lot of attachment. It's not, you cannot easily give up on it. So there are certain importance. So something like this you can introduce in saying that this is how the values are imbibed. Another thing you can write in family is depending upon nature of your family and how they going to inculcate the values. Nature of family, just now I have mentioned that if it is a nuclear family and if it is a joint family. So what kind of value system do you think that there will be a difference in between nuclear and joint family? No, in general, everything then can be questioned. Yes, in general, what are the things? Yes, family values, care, cooperation, respect for elders. Yes, more नहीं रहता है. Socialization तो सभी में हो सकता है. Okay, in which direction it is happening, that is more important. Okay, so values of care, because you are living in a joint family, so naturally there will be a more care, more cooperation, respect for the elders. Respect for elders. Okay, these are some of the values which you will be see more when it comes to joint family. Nuclear family, since the family is single and mostly if it is in the urban areas, so yes, more. Yes, independent. That is individualistic value. Individualistic. Individualistic value here, yesterday I have mentioned about the Western values and Indian values. So generally Indian, when I was comparing there, Indian I have taken as a point of view of Oriental societies where the family has a larger role to play. Yesterday, do you remember? कहाँ पे explain किया था? Values change from place to place. So Western society is more of individualistic in nature. So individual values, freedom, individual freedom, okay, those values will be more as compared to joint family. Here it will be more. Here it will not be an individualistic. Here it is a group, cohesion, cooperation, integration, respect for elders, okay, those values will be there. Here individualistic value. But one value is very important, that gender equality will be more in nuclear value. Gender equality. Now here you think nuclear family is there, the mother is going for the job, okay, so the kids are seeing that, okay, both of them have by and large the same role to play, okay, and the family coming, obviously it's not there, but still like think of husband is helping the wife in a kitchen, etc., etc. So nuclear family, there is a division of task. Here there will be a more patriarchy, okay. Relatively we are talking, it's not again a completely absolutism here, okay. So some of here again in case of urban society, this is more materialistic aspect, if you are again going towards more and more liberal zone, okay, because they feel that, see here, what about the care, cooperation, respect, care se dekho aap, ki both of the parents are going out for job, and the kids are in the crèche, or for that matter, somebody is there to look after them. So in between the care and the aspirational goal, so they think that aspirational goals are quite more important. So here the kind of the values, competition, individualism, materialism will be more, whereas here it will be more of a having in cooperation with each other, value of equality, elder. यहाँ पे तो elder का तो respect for elders most of the times, ये फैमिली जब दिवाली में इधर आती है तो उनको पता भी नहीं चलता है ग्रैंडफादर कौन है, ग्रैंडमदर कौन है, okay, जनरली बच्चा ऐसे रोता रहता है, ठीक है, they don't go to the elders, okay, they feel that alien, because न्यूक्लियर फैमिली में बताया गया है कि किसी के पास जाना नहीं है वगैरह वगैरह, तो यहाँ पे ग्रैंडफादर भी नहीं जाता है. हाँ, yes, these are the values where we see that how these values get reflected in future, okay. Yes, not just behavior, when they are elderly, putting self-respect, not self-respect we are saying, apart from that, okay, attitude towards elderly people, okay, when they are old, okay, you will put them in the old age home. So if you are belonging to this individual nuclear family, so naturally the attitude is like put them into the old age. If you are a product of them, you will not think of putting the old age home. So this is how you have to write. It's an open-ended space that you can take up different sort of things and you can write what is the role of family, okay. So you have to write both positive, negative, and etc., and then conclude in saying that family is an important role to play. Gender equality, this also, like if you see the mother is educated, okay, so if mother is educated and she is very liberal and rational, okay, the kind of the value system that she would going to imbibe in her children will be obviously more rational in that manner. If she is more traditional, conservative, orthodox, etc., in fact she is also the one who imbibed the patriarchy. Today in modern India, we are thinking patriarchy is the wrong thing to do. But there are quite number of women in rural hinterland who think that this is what is the role of women, that we have to live like this, we have to be traditional, we have to do this, that, etc. Our role is secondary to the male counterpart who is the breadwinner of the family, etc., etc. So those values will be imbibed. So this is how you have to write your answer. Again, if you are not remembering anything, you can pick up any value and you can simply say that if this value, like value of tolerance, if families are tolerant and equality and liberal values, then children are like that. And oppositely, whatever the problems and social evils of society, you pick up those values and say that these values, if imbibed by a particular parent, so a person will be like this. Okay, so this is about the family. Come to the next, that is school. Now, school, this is a formal agent of socialization, you can write. The formal agent of socialization. Formal agent of socialization. In fact, family is little more informal in nature. It's an informal agent, and this is a formal agent of socialization. Again, when we are seeing the school and education, so there are many things which can be emphasized here. Now, the child is for the first time coming out of his family, okay, and family is something, emotion and feeling and blood relation. This is a basis that governs the interrelationship between the different people, emotions, feelings, and blood relation. Now, in case of school, okay, you may not, like, what is then manifestation and implication of this emotion and feeling? Say, for example, if something you are asking from parents, okay, and something which is an unreasonable demand. Now, that unreasonable demand also may be fulfilled by the family members. If you are crying, say for example, you want a video game, and they say that no, this is not a reasonable demand and you should not ask. You give a loud cry, more loud cry, more loud cry. So anything which is unreasonable also may be given to you. Think of Barbie doll चाहिए, ठीक है, रो लिया और चाहिए तो और आगे. But now here it will not be the situation. यहाँ पे कहीं मैथ्स में आपको मार्क्स कम मिले हैं. If you give a cry, okay, imagine you are giving a cry, I want a more marks. This will not happen. So here the values of equality, because here it is not guided by your feelings and blood relations. There will not be a pampering. So you understand that when it comes to the society, okay, there are norms of equality. Okay, norms of equality, that people will be judged on the basis of objective criteria, merit criteria, impartial criteria. So these values of equality, values of merit, values of objectivity and impartiality, so these are the values that you come to know when you start moving out of your house, that is with respect to your school, because this is a formal. Again, peer group is little informal, okay, peer group is little informal, but in case of school, since it is a formal, so everybody is equal in the eyes of the school, and since everybody is equal, so if at all a preference is given to you, that preferences will be based upon merit. Otherwise, you are equal. There will be an objectivity. There will not be an feeling and any kind of a favoritism. So these values you understand that when it comes to school and society, because this is the first interface of a person to the society when he comes out of the family to the house. Now, this is one, that is the formative age, and some of the formal values get imbibed rather than just the informal values of care, love, compassion, humanity. यहाँ पे रहेगा वो, चाहे वो nuclear family हो या फिर joint family हो. Okay, some of the values obviously will be common. Okay, something related with love, care, compassion, humanism, etc. Now, यहाँ पे थोड़े से formal values है, although rest of the values also will superimpose on each other those values which have been imbibed by school. Second thing how you can write about the school is what is the content of education. Okay, that's also decide the kind of the values that are being imbibed. Now, content of education, it depends upon what kind of the schooling system you have. Okay, whether it has some religious tinge in the school education, or whether it is a modern, secular, rational education. Okay, on one hand side, we expect that it should be a modern, secular, and rational values. Rational in a sense of scientific scientific temperament. Scientific temper. Generally, this is our perception that if you go to the school, you become a more modern, more secular, more rational, and you should have a scientific temperament. So this help in creating the modern citizens if the schooling system is very modern one and based upon on those lines. Okay, these are the, it depends upon the content. Otherwise, if the schooling is based upon some religious tinge, etc., okay, then it will be more traditional and conservative. Traditional and conservative. Rather than secular, there will be more communal angle, or at least religious angle. Communal and religious angle. Scientific temperament, we do not have the schools these days. Otherwise, in the earlier time, informal schools used to be there. They used to, in fact, imbibe the more superstitious value also. Here, the school is not about just a formal school. We are talking about any kind of a training, any kind of a well-knit force where you have given sort of a ceremony, okay, and then you imbibe those values. Now, these values, obviously, when get imbibed, you end up again in justifying those values over a period of time. Most of the times, there is a relationship between you belong to one particular religious family, and your school is also like in comparison to that particular school. So here they reinforce each other, and your value becomes too parochial in nature. And when you become an adult, okay, it's very difficult for you to negotiate with the modern liberal values, because you are the product of your socialization. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है यहाँ पे? Okay, think of some of the these are the modern we are discussing, like scientific temper, rational, secular, modern. Even if you pick up some of the modern schooling, like say DAV school, you pick up DAV school, there is a tinge of Hindu values. Okay, most of the times if you see from yes, Arya Samaj schooling, so you will have that religious tinge into it, and obviously in spite of this, since there are certain tinge of particular religious values that is imbibed, so you end up in having that a particular religious value or particular religion is more superior to the others. This is Arya Samaj values. If you go into the convent, you will see that the Christian values are yes, linked. Okay, again, there is a very subtle inculcation. There cannot be an obvious, because in the school you cannot very proactively go for religious value or the religious ceremony, but you will certainly see like those people, most of the times you see DAV and convent, okay, they don't understand why they celebrate Diwali in the month of December when there is a Christmas. Okay, so people who are convent, whenever there is any celebration in the West, so there is a lot of enthusiasm, okay, because the kind of the celebration of the festival that happen in convent school, okay, those are linked with the Western festivals. Okay, जैसे जिंगल जिंगल बेल है, क्रिसमस है, ये है, बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब जोश के साथ होता है. और DAV वालों को पता नहीं चलता है कि क्रिसमस में इतना क्या है. उनको तो छुट्टियाँ भी 2 दिन की रहती है. यहाँ पे दिवाली की 1 महीना छुट्टी है, वहाँ पे क्रिसमस की 1 महीना छुट्टी है. So those people also not able to negotiate. There are other schools also, पता नहीं वहाँ की वैल्यू तो कहाँ से आती है, DAV है या फिर दिल्ली पब्लिक स्कूल. Okay, they fall from the sky. Okay, it's very difficult. So in a way that the school has a larger role to play. That's what we have to understand here. That content of the first we have seen in general how the formal values are inculcated. Then we have seen the content of education also has a bearing upon the values. And third is larger premises of that is environment of a school, like respect, having how to have an attitude with respect to your colleagues and friends, and then respecting to the elders, teachers, and etc. So these are also some of the values which are inculcated through the method of education in the school. Whenever you are writing, do not write just one part of the story, because then you are considering school is equal to only modern, but this does not happen. Okay, that's why whenever we will see that attitude, social evils of the society are there, we will come back to here and what are the roles of different agents of socialization. We'll discuss them. Next is peer group. You can write. Yes. Why this is happening? Because more this become a professional relationship. Earlier it was not just a professional relationship. Earlier it was like a more valuable to students in a sense that like a parents, how they are important. So teacher is like that. Here it is more of, yesterday we had talked about intrinsic and instrumental. So from point of view of educational system has also not for the sake of character building and you make you a more person of a wisdom, person of a moral character, etc., etc. It's more about professionally what you want to become a life. There is a formal help, okay, in order to assist you to get through that particular path. So the nature of role has changed, and since the nature of role has changed, so therefore the relationship also has an impact on it. No, so there cannot be. Like there are various reasons you can say that. That's also good if you see from point of view of role, bigger role, intrinsic role. In today's world, you can say that in tune with the modern times, okay, you have to also have a professional relationship. Both are, मतलब दोनों के कुछ positive plus and minus. This is a part of a change. There cannot be black and white. This is absolutely good. That is absolutely wrong. That's also good. This also good. That also has certain deficiencies. This also has certain deficiencies. This is in tune with the changing time. Now, in those times, you will not have the PowerPoint presentation. You will not have notebook. You will not have the notes. You will not have the other material that is required. So it is more of a right. That has a value. You are not understanding, because purpose of your education is here to get something in life. It is more of a instrumental in nature. So likewise, instrumental, you are adopting those things which has lost the humanistic relationship. In earlier time, the purpose was to become a man of wisdom. So obviously there is an intrinsic relationship. Are you understanding? ठीक है? Yes. Yes, certainly. Yes, partly there was there, because if you see in case of English system of education when it was introduced, so there was a larger debate with respect to Anglicized education and the Oriental education. So yes, this debate was there. If you read in the modern India, when the Britishers have introduced the education, so first thing you will learn there is the debate that is called as Macaulay's Minute करके debate है. So Macaulay's Minute was essentially based upon this, that the Indian philosophies are more spiritual in nature. Okay, they are more value based, but there is a lack of temper, scientific temper. But at the same time, Western philosophies have the scientific temper and etc. These more values. But then again, you cannot say that that is absolutely correct and this is absolutely wrong, because we will learn. Let's go slow one by one, because we are going to learn the philosophers like Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda. We are going to see the debate in between West and East. So what is good for the West? It does not mean that everything in the West is fine, and it does not mean that everything in the Oriental societies is wrong. So what is required is rather than clash of values, we need to find out confluence of values. So we have something to offer to the West in the form of value system, in the form of spiritual happiness, in the form of value-based happiness. The West has something to offer to us, that is in the form of scientific temperament. Okay, so it's not about, it cannot be black and white, absolutely. This is not a sort of a litmus test. If it is there, then it is correct and everything is wrong. No, that's not correct. Okay, come out of this binary evaluation, 0 and 1. Okay, that's absolutely a wrong evaluation in ethics. That's why we are not saying true and false. Okay, everything has certain functional significance depending upon the context, and everything also lack. Okay, that's why you need to have a very flexible attitude, very open-minded attitude if you want to judge the things here. Okay, if you are prejudiced mind, so obviously you will not able to evaluate the aspects. Okay, let's come to now peer group. Okay, peer group, there is nothing as such separately we have to discuss here. It's more about the team spirit. Okay, working in a team, working in a cohesion, working in a group. So what are things related with the group spirit in positive sense we are talking about? So you learn to live in a group, you learn some of the team related or this aspects of life. Apart from that, at individual level, there are certain socialization also, like depending upon what kind of the values of peer. Say for example, if your peer is a very materialistic and consumeristic values. They uphold the very materialistic and consumeristic value. So obviously, they are going to judge you on the basis of those materialism and consumeristic values. So what will be more important for you naturally, like having an different material things in life. Okay, आपका ज़्यादा कॉन्शियस किस में होगी कि ब्रांड कौन सा पहना हुआ है, जूता कौन सा पहना हुआ है, चप्पल क्या है, एप्पल है या नहीं है, या सीताफल है या क्या है. Okay, what is a four-wheeler? So like say for example, go in Delhi University, how will you judge? Not by as a person, but what you wear, what you dress, how you come, whether you are coming in four-wheeler or not. So slowly you will understand that nobody is asking you as a person or what is your intellectual depth. Okay, more of you will be judged on the basis of materialism. So slowly this becomes your goal because you think that this has been a socialization and this is something which gives you a recognition. When we talk about the world, it's not really we bother about the world, it's the peer group that we really bother about. So what is the value system of your peer group? This will put a pressure on you and that becomes your aspirational goal. Okay, having this thing in life is the ultimate thing of life. So that is how the peer group will shape your values. You also start giving the preference to all such things. Think of if you are in some other institute where the materialistic and consumeristic values are not upholded, but more of what you as a person, what is your intellectual depth, or what is your opinion on different things. If you go into the JNU, Apple निकालोगे तो वो बोलोगे कि this is a vulgar display of capitalism. Okay, so आपको लगेगा कि oh my God, this is a surplus value of workers' toil. Okay, so I should not be capitalist. Okay, or for that matter, you say that okay, there are certain negative aspects of capitalism, and then you tend to think that there are more things beyond this. Okay, beyond this, all luxurious things. So depending upon what kind of the peer group you have, there people will be discussing and they will be judging you on the basis of the opinion you carry. Okay, rather than on the basis of your material things. Just I'm giving examples. So likewise, you have a different sorts of peer group. Yes, this is quite related with the addiction also, peer group and its influence on the addiction. How you justify alcoholism, smoking, drug addiction, etc. And think of on the other side also that is how the influence. So you have to discuss different aspects of life and its influence on the individual. So that likewise, what kind of, that's why it is being said that the character of the person can be very well identified by identifying the peer or the company of a person. So the moment you understand the company, you can understand the person. So as simple as that, because that is how the influence is. Next is the religion. Religion as a source of ethics. Now this is an important one, particularly in India. There's a lot of influence of religion. Religion and ethics. In fact, write a question here. Okay. It is being said that religion is ethics. Religion is ethics. And ethics is religion. It is being said that religion is ethics and ethics is religion. Okay. To what extent do you agree? To what extent do you agree with the statement? To what extent do you agree with the statement? Evaluate it with justification. Evaluate it with justification. Justification. Or second question you can write separately, that what is the relationship between ethics and religion? What is the relationship between ethics and religion? Okay. Or next question is discuss the religion as a source of ethics. Discuss the religion as a source of ethics. Okay, so take 5 minutes, write your answer. तीनों का आंसर more or less same ही है, but first you can start with the first thing. Okay, then we'll discuss about it. Okay. 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 Which level? Minor level. हाँ. Hmm. 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 अरे, pay an attention. Somebody is answering. Hmm. This is not relevant. Huh. Hmm. 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 Okay. So what the problem is, whether the problem is the people who use the religion and go for the violence, or the problem is in the religion itself? Hmm? So who should go and who should mend their ways? Hmm? Okay, still he has good points, और थोड़ा सा उसको refine किया जा सकता है, but both of you are absolutely fine. Hmm. 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 Okay. You have good points, but exactly half of the answer. Okay. But whatever you have written is fine. Hmm. Wait, wait. Hmm. Everybody should answer. Same people are answering. Those who have answered yesterday. Otherwise, I'll ask random if you are not answering. Huh? Yes, go ahead. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. Yes, very good. Yes. Hmm. 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 Okay. Fine. Your framework was good, but some more content is required. Okay. थोड़ा सा और fodder उसमें डालना पड़ेगा. Hmm. 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 Okay. changed interpretation. The interpretation got changed, okay, because people narrowly started or giving a different meanings. That's also has an influence. Yes. Hmm. 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 In context of West, okay. Hmm. Hmm. So Christian people don't think that they are doing the right things, only they are being governed. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm. Also. Hmm. Okay. Okay, all right. So let's discuss now. Huh. Any new point if you want to add? Huh. You have already answered. Hmm. अरे वो डिस्कस करेंगे ना फिर अभी. हाँ वही डिस्कस करना है अभी. हाँ yes okay fine go ahead. Go ahead, go ahead. Be loud, little loud. Hmm. Hmm. Religion is a source of ethics. Okay, fine. Hmm. Hmm. Good. Hmm. Good. Hmm. Very good. Hmm. Good. Yes. Is a source of. Okay, very good. Hmm. If you have any new point, please add. Otherwise, we'll discuss. Hmm.
Some says that religion is ethics and ethics is religion. I totally agree with it because religion is the thing that talks about its past, its values in past.
Hmm.
Religion teaches us the people about its importance, its birth. It answers the people why one is following the particular religion.
Hmm.
Religion is a school of thought which teaches the people the various incidents of its past, and by doing so, people become more attached towards its religion. If we talk about the Hindu religion, then we come to know about that it is very close to the God. Then from doing so, one also starts believing in the God. That we start knowing about the Vedas, Ramayanas and Mahabharata. And after knowing the chapters of Vedas, Ramayanas, we see one become more social and as it teaches more about its ethics. And this inculcates one.
Okay. How do you find his answer? How do you find his answer? Hmm. See, absolutely, he has certainly highlighted only the good points, but the examiner going to see that you have not mixed up the rest of the examples. Okay. Also, you have used the word "I absolutely agree." So, does it mean that the one who do not follow the religion is absolutely unethical? You said that it takes close to the God, and that is important. Are the atheists, all atheists are unethical? Can there be an ethics without believing in God? Yes, certainly there can. Okay, so whenever you are Buddhism, obviously, Buddhism, Jainism, those philosophies have said that. In fact, this Mahayana and Hinayana was there. But still, so the point is, whatever written, none of the statement was wrong. But then it was going towards more absolutism. Okay, so you have to like balance and mix that. Yes, these things are exist, but along with these things, there are rest of the things also are correct. Okay, so let's now discuss that broadly the religion and ethics and how to approach. Now this sort of approach I'm giving, so that can be applied to religion and ethics, religion and politics, religion and law. Okay, at different point of time we'll discuss. See, whenever such questions are asked, I'll come to the statement wala question later. Okay, that is a relationship between religion and ethics, or the question is about ethics as a source of religion. Religion as a source of ethics. Now, whenever, see in UPSC, whenever you are writing, keep it as simple as possible, make a structure of your answer, okay, so that you will not go haywire from the topic, you will keep your answer more close to the question, okay. So here first it is asked, so define what is ethics. Okay, here accurate definition is not required, it's just you have the principle of right and wrong, or principle which guide us towards doing certain righteous things in life. Okay, principle of right and wrong, principle those guide us to do right thing in life, etc. Then immediately say that religion is also, okay, that is a set of belief system. Okay, set of belief system. Why this set of belief system have been created? So as to guide the particular group of people towards doing right. Okay, none of the religion has been evolved for the destruction of mankind. Okay, in fact the religion has evolved so that those who are the followers of religion, okay, there will be this religion set of principle will be a guiding force to do certain righteous thing in life. So from this only you can say that both have the goal of guiding the people towards the right thing. Now in this case we can establish that religion is an important source of ethics. Okay, religion is important source of ethics. So first paragraph you are defining and trying to say that the goal of both of them is same. Okay, goal of both of them is to guide the people towards righteous thing. Now in the second paragraph, when you are saying that religion is an important source, give certain examples. Okay, whenever you are writing something in ethics, it should be accompanied by examples. Okay, so give certain examples, like somebody has said dharma and adharma. Give that example. Somebody has said about Vedic philosophy, so give some examples from this. Buddhism philosophy, you can simply say that non-violence is an important, satya is an important precepts of Buddhism and Jainism, so that's also give. In case of Islam, there is something called zakat. Okay, what is zakat? Giving alms to the poor. Okay, that whatever you earn, some percentage of it should go to the poor. Okay, Christianity talks about humanity. So likewise, any religion, okay, you can at least able to balance your answers. It does not sound like you are talking about only one religion. So give that, yes, religion is an important source. In fact, the journey of ethics started because of the religion only. Religion has came to provide a guidance for the well-knit life. So this is the first part of your answer, and say that religion is an important source. Now see, the thing is that second thing you have to write that although religion is important source, religion is not only the source. Because the question was religion is ethics and ethics is religion. अगर आपको Venn diagram समझता है तो ये है वो. Okay, ethics and religion are same, but the relation is like this. If this is a religion and this is ethics, okay, so some of the part of religion and ethics are same. But there are certain things, righteous things, religion may not be telling you, but it is right thing to do in life. And also everything that is said in religion is not also ethical. Okay, everything and anything. There are meaningless rituals and practices. It has nothing to do with ethics. Okay, whether you follow those practices and not, it's just an abstract value. Okay, there is nothing like you can really evaluate. In fact, some of the things that we have to discuss, that glimpses of ethics which perpetuate inequality. Say for example, if you see this triple talaq, which is based upon some of the religious value. Okay, so you can say that this contradicts. Somebody, I think she has written that some of the things that ethics help in evaluation of religion also, or some of the principles come contradictory also. So first paragraph you have written that religion is an important source of ethics. In the second paragraph, you have to write that there are certain sources which are independent of religion. They are also the sources of ethics. In the third para, you can write how the religion and ethics come contradictory at times. Contradictory at times, again, you can identify different different things that are being justified. Okay, जैसे ये ट्रिपल तलाक वाला हो गया, या फिर जैसे कास्ट सिस्टम है, okay, that's also being perpetuated, and the manifestation of caste system in present time is what we see, that there are more negative fallacies of that. So this is how you have to write the fourth paragraph, and in the end you can conclude in saying that religion, okay, finally you can say that even those which are the righteous principle, okay, nowadays depending upon the different interpretation, the righteous source are being interpreted in a negative way, in order which comes contradictory to ethics. You can think about religious fundamentalism, religious intolerance, religious extremism. So this is the principle that religion is becoming an one of the most challenge for the ethical principles. Yes, end wala point समझ में आया नहीं आया? End wala point is, your religion is superior, your religion is fine, but when it becomes a absolutism in a sense that only my religion is superior, other religion should not exist, that is called as religious fundamentalism. Religious fundamentalism is, what are the values that are given in religion, those are superior, there is no doubt, for a given religion, but now you are saying that they are not only superior, but they are the only values that should exist. Okay, that is called religious fundamentalism, religious extremism. So religion has become a vehicle for the narrow interpretation of values in order to justify what is unjustifiable, and this is giving rise to religious intolerance, communal clash, communal violence, extremism, religious fundamentalism, terrorism also. So conclude in saying that why this is happening, there is no problem with religion in itself, but there is a narrow interpretation of religious values, that your religion is far more superior. So this is how you have to inculcate all the points. I hope the point is clear. Okay, so first is the defining and establishing the relationship. Second point is giving an example and proving that yes, religion is an important source. Again, give an example from 2-3 different religion, then how they are contradictory, then ethics has some other domains also independent of religion, and then finally some contemporary. Finally, why I have mentioned that particular point, you should always give a touch with respect to contemporary things, what are happening. Okay, contemporary things that are happening in the present time, so you can give those aspects. So this is how you have to write the answer, and this is what is a religion as a source of ethics. So we are going, yesterday I have mentioned about the Indian thinkers. उसमें मैंने बताया था we are going to discuss some of the religious philosophies in Indian thinkers, because in India the ethics is all about religion. Mostly whatever the right thing we do in our life is because we are guided by some of the religious forces. So we are going to see those religion, those points will also come handy. So do not write one-dimensional answer. Okay, that is religion, yes, source of ethics, and keep on writing. Okay, identify all the shades, okay, in the answers, and identify different dimensions. Is that fine? Religious fundamentalism, religious extremism. Okay, any kind of fundamentalism, forget about religious, fundamentalism and extremism and absolutism and radicalism, चारों term एक ही है. Okay, fundamentalism, extremism, radicalism, absolutism. It means that whatever you hold, you think that that is only the value, that is the truth. Okay, that is the truth and nothing should exist. So what will happen if you are belong to X religion and you think that my religion is the only truth and other should not exist? So you become fundamental. Fundamental means extremist. You become radical. So naturally what will happen? The other religion, you will develop a intolerance. Are you understanding? You will, and now if the other religion value comes in conflict with your value, you will go terrorist also. Are you understanding? Because you think that this value is contradictory to my religion. It is questioning the identity of my religion, and therefore this religion should not exist. So you go to more and more extreme, more radicalization. So benign value is, in fact, Constitution also guarantees you freedom of religion, Article 25, 26, 27, 28. But your religion does not mean that other religion has no value of existence. Okay, so that is a value of tolerance. Somebody has talked about Sarva Dharma Samabhava. Okay, that is about religious tolerance. your religion is fine, but rest of the religion are also equally fine, and they have their own. Okay, in fact, the religion is a matter of a personal relationship with the God. Okay, yesterday I think the Chief Justice of India has said the statement. Okay, that is, my religion is nobody's business. That is my relationship with the God is my business. So the thing is that there is a liberty for you to have an association, your personal association with the God, but imposing on the others is not correct. I hope the point is clear. Radicalization, fundamentalism. Yes, you want to say something? Yes, religion is an important source of ethics, but religion and ethics are identical. That's not correct. Okay, so that is how you can say. Yes, you can code, certainly, but it should not be too much which shows that you are biased. That's the only thing. Yes, you can, but you have to convert it in the English language also. श्लोक मतलब पूरा श्लोक नहीं रहता यार, एक छोटा सा मतलब जैसे वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. So you are writing Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is a value which means universal brotherhood. This is how you have to write. Okay, not the whole shlok you cannot write. And you have to, even if you are writing in the Sanskrit, you have to translate it in English. What does it mean? Okay? So that's about it. That is about religion and the culture as a source of ethics. Then next is क्या था? यहाँ पे क्या लिखा था? Media. Yes, media. Media as a source of ethics. Next. No, do not draw. This is for understanding. Okay. Ethics में बहुत ज़्यादा diagrams नहीं बनाने हैं. It is more of a humanity subject. Okay. More of it's about how you are writing and convincing the thing, because there can be technicalities again. यहाँ पे जो आपने छोड़ दिया है, okay, this is non-relevant to this. Now, where you are showing the contradiction between ethics and religion, which portion there is a contradiction? There is no portion. Here there is a, here ethics is not related with religion. Here religion is not related with ethics. Here they are related. Where is the contradiction? Okay, so more points will be. So diagram may not be 100% accurate. You can draw at your own risk. That is what I can say. Sometimes yes, it is impressive, but you never know what the examiner is going to take. Generally in geography and your technical subjects you can draw. ठीक है? Yes, right. और पता नहीं वो अगर बहुत ही ह्यूमैनिटी उसको वेन डायग्राम ही ना समझ में आए, हो सकता है मतलब. ठीक है. Yes, what you are written? Media. Yes, media as a value inculcation and how the role of media. Yes, how do you go about it now? Please, like whatever I have discussed, you should now be able to write something about it. Media as a source of ethics or values. What are the points that you can think of? Take 1 minute. Okay, just brainstorm. क्या point लिख सकते हो आप? Source of values, not media as a, ये सब कुछ. Okay, that is a socialization. Role of media in shaping human beings, inculcating values, ethics, morals, attitude. Right, in 1 minute. Yes, what you have written? Broadly बताइए. Yes. Film stars. Yes, yes. Smoking cigar. Wrongdoer. That is also inspired. Okay. That's the only thing you have written in whole media? Who is your favorite actor? Bhai? Yes, Okay, fine. Yes. Okay, so depending upon the bias, what is he saying? Okay, ideology, yes. Just tell one or 2 points. It's not a discussion. Hmm. Social platform. That's what values to be inculcated. Yes, empathy is very good. So different values you have to, huh? Consensus, thinking, yes. Culture. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Okay, masses, very good point. In fact, the formal agent of socialization and rest of the things where they don't reach, okay, media as a mass communication, okay, it has influence towards those masses hitherto untouched by the formal means of communication, okay, particularly this music and entertainment, it has the unique role to play because the formal agent of socialization, okay, apart from the schools and etc., they do not reach in certain situation. The role of mass media is very much. Hmm. 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 So, huh. Are you sure that that is how the media depicts? Okay, one of the, हाँ, चार बोतल ओड का देखिए अब क्या है, हाँ? Because yes, because that comes in the music. Hmm. See, okay, fine. See, should prescribe, we have to just analyze it. Okay, we should not be prescriptive in such question. Okay, we just have to analyze what is happening. We're not. They should do this. They should do that. This should have happened. Question is simply saying that role of media as a inculcation of values. So this is more of a descriptive thing that how the media sometimes inculcate the good points or the good moral values, or on the contrary, at times it incorporates the bad values. So first we'll see the media from point of view of a print and electronic, that is a journalist sense, print or electronic, from the journalist things, that news atoms and this thing. So write some of the points with regard to conventional media, and then we'll see the entertainment and music. So some you can introduce in saying that media has a large role to play in a democracy in shaping the values of citizen. Media has large role to play in a democracy in shaping the values of people towards different things. Okay, it has a role of sort of neutral umpire. Okay, it has a role of a neutral umpire. Umpire is neutral. Okay, in fact, it is sometimes called as the fourth pillar of democracy. Okay, fourth pillar of democracy. This is to introduce, to let the examiner know that how much is the significance of media in the democracy. Okay, it's not just about the family and the school. Media also to large extent shapes the values, ideology, public opinion, okay, their viewpoints, etc., etc. So their role is very important. Now, having said this point, it has a larger role to play and its significance is a lot. Then you have to see that in what extent, okay, they are doing. So what are the good points? Good points as an media as a informer of different things. So what are the good things that is happening in the society? So through the good, in fact, role of media as a education, okay, educating the masses broadly. Role of media as educating the masses. Educating the masses to whatever the political aspects, criminal aspects, so whatever happening in the society, neutrally it display. So likewise the values will be shaped. Okay, role as a education of masses, particularly there is a political education of the masses, to be very specific, because what are the policies of government? Yes? Yes, because your ideology will be shaped. So you may tend to think in a particular direction, how the media is depicting to be right. Are you understanding? Say, for example, media is trying to depict one particular ideology as a good ideology, okay, or they are informing you. You are neutral, you do not know what is left, what is right, what is the government's role, etc. Because generally political things are not being taught in the school, family, and etc. So political education in terms of what the government is doing, which government is good and bad, what should be your viewpoint, what should be the general aspects, whether you should participate in democracy or not. It's quite possible that you think that politics is a game of scoundrels. This is your viewpoint. Tomorrow, through the media, you get to know that you are a taxpayer, your money should be used for the productive resources, etc. So this is your political education, that since I pay the taxes, my role in the democracy is important. Now, this is a change in your value system, from politics as a game of scoundrels to the politics which involved in distribution of resources. Okay, so likewise, this is only that now from hostility towards politics, now you are pro-politics. Now within that also, what is good and what is bad, it all depends upon what kind of the information and how the viewpoints are being shaped. So simply putting up, it's like a role of media in the political education on the different lines. Yes, apart from that, rest of the values, like values particularly during the time, yes, empathy and compassion, as somebody has said, like if the media is showing that something happened in a slum and this is how the things have happened, this also generate a public attitude with respect to the different problems, social evils of society. Okay, educating, political education, educating with respect to different social evils of society. That's also, like, depending upon the information, your attitude will be shaped. Now, this is something what we are talking about, the positive attitude or positive values that is being shaped. Then, on the contrary, in contemporary time, okay, in the second paragraph, you have to talk about what is happening, role of a media in contemporary time, and it's how the nature is changing and why the nature is changing. Nature is changing, you can say that stereotyping of the things is started happening because of commercialization. क्या क्या है कि आज का जो मीडिया है and conventional media and their role in shaping the values, how do you see the change and why there is a change? Yes. Yes, corporatization of the media first, okay. Corporatization of media, commercialization of media, commercialization of media. Yes, paid media, paid news जिसको बोला जाता है. I'll explain together. Just write this phenomena. हाँ, sensationalization of different things. Okay, biased media. Okay, in fact, this phenomena, in any essay also you can put it, this is lack of ethical journalism. Okay, these are the issues with respect to lack of ethical journalism. Let me enumerate: corporatization of media, commercialization of media, paid news, sensationalization of different news items, biased media. Okay, these are some of the terms where we see that sense of ethical journalism is lacking in contemporary time. Okay, now how? Let's see one by one. Corporatization, commercialization, many of the things are go together because the money has become an important value for the media houses, not showing a neutral news. Okay, something what we see, that utilitarian value, materialistic value, okay, that are the object of the media in these days. That's why there is a there is a mad race or a rat race behind the TRPs. Now you have to increase the TRPs. So in this mad race for earning more money, okay, you are compromising some of the journalistic principle of truth, journalistic principle of impartiality, journalistic principle of objectivity, etc. Now, how it is shaping the values, I'll come that later. So, corporatization of media houses, because corporate class are now owning the media. Since corporate class are owning the media, so obviously, what is the sole motive of corporate houses? Profit orientation. So, obviously, since profit orientation is there, the kind of the role that we had in the past of the media, we do not see, because they are more driven by the commercial interests. So commercialization and corporatization are linked together, because since the media houses are now owned by the corporate class, commercialization has become more important interest, and therefore the values which are conventionally used to help to educate the masses on different things, educating on the political viewpoints neutrally, showing or you can say that articulating viewpoints of the masses with respect to different social evils. These are the things, these have taken the back seat, and the commercial interest has become more. Now, since the commercial interest has become more, the good value system is the first casualty, because what is important from point of view of the TRP, that is what is being depicted now. So corporatization, commercialization, paid news is, in fact, somebody has talked about political bias. This is because there is a corporate political nexus. So the one who is having the political party, they are obviously, since there is a nexus, there is a crony capitalism. Crony capitalism, you understand? There is a nexus in between corporate class and political class. So naturally, say for example, what you can say that the IBN channel is owned by or maximum share of Reliance. So what essentially it means that some of the things, like if you see the KG Basin, you must be knowing about they are not drilling the oil. Now initially when the stakes of Reliance were not there in the IBN 7, so there used to be news that this is how the substantial loss that is happening. Okay, this is the informed news. So the value system with respect to the neutrality, impartiality, objectivity were being upholded. The moment the Reliance got 40% or whatever the share is, so this kind of the news got disappeared from the masses. So are you understanding how it has a value in shaping? In fact, they are going to show more biased news, okay, what the Reliance Good is doing, etc., etc. So this kind of things that we see. Paid news, what is a paid news? Yes, news for which somebody is paying. So simply when you open the newspaper, there is an advertisement. We can simply understand this is an advertisement and somebody has paid for it, for an advertisement. But when we read the news, we have a perception that this is to be true. Advertisement is something who is a marketing, and news is something which is a neutral. But then the news is also not neutral, it is a sort of an advertisement these days, because somebody is trying to like pay the person in order to write in a particular viewpoint and in somebody's interest. So that is also compromising the neutral inculcation of, yes. So narrow values, a specific group of values. Narrow, that is what we are seeing. See, the thing is that the impact of all this thing is, what is the conventional role, which was an unbiased role, impartial role, objective role, that is getting compromised. Now you are stereotyped with particular value, particular political value, particular corporate value. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है ये? See, if you have one whole independence, so what you are going to do, you are going to show everything in an unbiased manner. Now you are not doing that. Now you are imposing a particular value. That is the stereotyping of one particular value. So you tend to think in a one particular direction. So obviously that is up to us, but everything is up to us. Parents are teaching, it is up to us to listen to parents or not. School is teaching, it is up to us. Paid news is not formal advertisement, it is in the form of news. So when the reader is reading, it is not an advertisement. ये नहीं है कि इस पार्टी को आप choose करो. That is a absolute advertisement. This is a news only. Say for example, if election is going on in a particular constituency, paid news would look like this. Yesterday this person has gone, this person is good, this person is that, etc., etc. So a viewer is reading it as a neutral news, but it is not a neutral. Okay, so that is about the paid news. Sensationalization of different things, bias media, so these are independent. See, you are not writing this as a separate things. In conclusion, you are writing because of contemporary, this phenomena are there. Therefore, we are seeing the conventional role of a media for inculcating the impartial, objective values, that is no more there. This is a change in the nature of value inculcation by the media. Are you understanding how you have to incorporate this point? This point is not related with as such, that is how the values are being imbibed. We are seeing the nature of the values that is imbibed in conventional time and present time is categorically different. In the earlier times, there were more political education in an impartial and objective manner. Now, it is no more. There is a parochial values, specific values that too when they are guided by particular political parties, corporate house, etc., etc. Or commercial interest. Commercial interest in a sense that sensationalization. Even when there is no commercial and this political sensationalization क्या है, एक हाथ communal riot चल रहा है, okay, उसको 10 बार दिखा रहा है. It is instigating the communal violence more and more. Are you understanding? Classical example is Muzaffarnagar riot. Okay, you see that in case of Muzaffarnagar riot, it was a clash in between two group to start with. It got snowballed into the full-fledged communal violence. Now the court has said that media has a larger role to play in this regard. Media, this conventional media as well as the social media also. So what is happening is something which was not to be shown 10 times, okay, वो 10 बार दिखा रहे हैं और इतना instigate कर रहे हैं कि फिर लोगों को लग रहा है कि there is some communal instigation or violence that is happening. Okay, so you have to see that in contemporary time, the role of media as inculcating values has gone overall change. And why there is a change? Because of these reasons. Okay? Now, next, that is about the entertainment, and इसी में लिखना है, but एक दो अलग से point भी आप add कर सकते हो. Music, entertainment, and advertisements through the mass media. Music, entertainment, and mass media. इसमें कुछ 70s, 80s के values आप डाल सकते हो, but contemporary times you can say that how the this parts are affecting music and entertainment and advertisement. See, advertisement, what you can write some of the examples. Stereotyping, this patriarchal values, objectification of women, okay, that is attitude towards women. Yes, can you give certain examples, advertisement mein? Yes, fairness, give very good example. Okay, Fair and Lovely. Yes, what happened? Perfumes, okay, yes. Deodorants, perfumes. Close up में क्या है? Stereotyping, अरे ऐसे नहीं है हर एक values को. See, यहाँ पे stereotyping क्या है? Objectification of women when we are saying that, say for example, एक बताता हूँ आपको. Objectification of women when in most of the times you have to give an advertisement of a four-wheeler and then the model is standing in front of her, mostly like modern and the four-wheeler. Okay, that is objectification of the women. Like ऑटो एक्सपो है, कितने जन ऑटो एक्सपो के लिए फोर व्हीलर देखने जाते हैं या पता नहीं क्या देखने जाते हैं. ठीक है, सो दैट इज अ ऑब्जेक्टिफिकेशन ऑफ वुमेन. ओके, ऑब्जेक्टिफाइंग द वुमेन विद दैट इज रिलेटिंग द वुमेन विद द ऑब्जेक्ट. स्टीरियोटाइपिंग में कन्वेंशनल रोल दिखाया जाता है. एडवर्टाइजमेंट में हमेशा वो किचन में रहेगी, मतलब कुछ चाय वाय बना रही है, सो शी हैज़ टू बी देयर इनसाइड द फोर वॉल्स. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ द stereotyping, जो conventional patriarchal role of women, that is getting stereotyped through the sort of advertisement. That is the stereotyping of gender roles, objectification of gender. Then obviously this also stereotyping of beautification. Okay, in case of this Fair and Lovely, that beauty is related with the color of the skin. Okay, so that is through what is the Fair and Lovely will depict. Okay, So that is also where we see that stereotyping with respect to the beauty. There are various campaigns running against this Fair and Lovely, and in fact, Kangana Ranaut, I think, has said no to this going for the ad of Fair and Lovely because she essentially thought that she do not identify the beauty of the women should be related with the color of the skin. But I think Yami Gautami is doing it. Okay, if you are not doing it, somebody else is going to do it. Okay, लेकिन फिर भी अभी जो फेयर एंड लवली के ऐड देखोगे वो थोड़ा सुधर गए, अब वाइट नहीं बोलते, अब निखार बोलते हैं वो. ओके, थोड़ा सा जो है उसमें निखार आ रहा है. नाउ दे हैव लॉट ऑफ women's have objected, strong feminist arguments can be made there. Okay, anyway, so that's the point in case of advertisement, stereotyping of the things and their particular role. Yes, what next is music, culture, etc. Music I have mentioned. Yes, lyrics. Honey Singh lyrics. Okay. Ethics class है, मैं यहाँ से नहीं बोल पाऊँगा, लेकिन हनी सिंह के lyrics, yes, how they stereotype the role of the women, objectify the women. Sometimes what is justifiable, not justifiable is being justified. Okay, that चार बोतल लोड का, और बहुत सारे songs है ऐसे. Okay, where the normal ethical social norms goes against the particular lyrics. Okay, मनाली ट्रांस है, नेहा कक्कड़ का सुना होगा आपने. तू भी खींच दो पफ, मनाली का है ये stuff. ठीक है. So if this is going to happen, so obviously that is also stereotyping happens there. Okay, yes, you have to pay an attention. Indians are hypocrite at the end of the day, but this is how you have to write that there are certain values which come conflict. On one side you are saying that ethics is about this, on the other side the role of the media is this. Yes, next क्या है? Yes, that is about it, that is media. See, the point is you have to balance, that's the idea here. Okay, you have to pick up whatever happening around you and you have to show that in this particular case this has happened, this has happened. Stereotypic breaking is also there in case of जागो रे करके एक कैंपेन चलता है टाटा टी का. Okay, टाटा टी का जागो रे करके कैंपेन है. So through that advertisement there is a change in the stereotypings. Okay, stereotypes breaking is happening there. Yes. Do you know few of the ads on the जागो रे? इलेक्शन, yes, इलेक्शन के टाइम में आता है. हाँ, इलेक्शन के टाइम में वाला बहुत एक इंटरेस्टिंग है. Again, it's related with few of the girls are sitting in a makeup कौन सा शॉप रहता है वो, मेकअप वाला जो है, ब्यूटी, हाँ, कॉस्मेटिक्स वाला. So every girl is flaunting, somebody is flaunting here, somebody is flaunting this, that, etc., etc. Then the one girl who is doing it, she flaunts the finger that she has gone for the voting. So वो बोलता है जागो रे, उस स्पिरिट को सलाम करता है जो जाके डेमोक्रेसी में अपना वोट एंश्योर कर देते हैं. So this is how the education of voting. Okay, gender equality से भी related काफ़ी सारे programs है. Okay, so the whole idea is what you stereotype, what are the subjects that you take, it either this way or that way, it happens. Now take the next, that is leaders and inspiring roles. This is your assignment, so I'll tell you what has to be done here. Leaders, inspiring figures and idols. First you have to identify two people from different sectors. One, identify two religious reformers, social reformers, religious reformer rather than social reformers. Identify two social reformers. Identify two civil servants, administrators, oblique. Identify two civil servant or administrators. And identify other two visionary people at any part of time. Okay, political class. Now let me see that what you have to do here. With respect to all the three, first you have to identify a person, then you have to identify what are the different values of his life that has inspired you. You should be very specific, it cannot be general. He was a very important, he was inspiring, he was good, he has done this, that, etc. नहीं है. आपको very very specific you have to go, which of the value of him has inspired you. So like say for example social reformer है, तो his rationality that he has abolished the sati and thus promoted the gender equality. Then he has spoken against the caste discrimination and he has preached the caste equality. Somebody has supported the that women's education and therefore that has inspired me, or some universal values of brotherhood. So you need to be very specific. This is with respect to social reformer. So you can identify any social reformer. And then second is civil servants. Civil servants, can you identify some of the civil servant? Armstrong Paul, Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi do not write because anybody who is a contemporary political side, try and avoid. Okay, do not pick up any person. Okay, for that matter, any political person in contemporary time, try and avoid, because in fact one of the value of civil servant is political neutrality. So do not try and give your biasness. You can pick up and go in the history and pick up if at all you want to pick up any political figure for that matter. Okay, first civil servant के point of view से देख रहे हैं. Alex Paul, हाँ, और कौन? सिंघम. अरे historic heroes. Okay, ठीक है. Yes, अशोक खेमका, दुर्गा शक्ति नागपाल, Sanju Chaturvedi. Sanju Chaturvedi, have you heard of? Who has got the Raman Magsaysay award? Okay, so such people who are revered, okay, and there is a proven track record of them. Okay, Sanju Chaturvedi, the one who has got the Raman Magsaysay award. Okay, he was in the Prashant Naik. Certainly you identify, or it's not just the contemporary. You can identify other like Vinod Rai, good administrator. Then you can identify in election commission से related किसको identify कर सकते हो? TN Session you can identify. Okay, so the field is open. Choose less controversial figure. That's the thing. Again, identify what values of him. E. Sridharan है. E. Sridharan में efficiency, punctuality, discipline, timely management, good use of resources. E. Sridharan कौन थे पहले तो ये? Metro Man, okay, the one who was pioneer for the metro. Okay, so that's the thing. And the next is the last one. क्या था उसमें? Visionary. Any visionary. Political class, avoid the contemporary. No Modi, no Kejriwal. Okay. Rahul वैसे भी dropped ही है. ठीक है. So go in the history, but the problem ये हो गया है कि नेहरू को भी पिकअप. आज नेहरू हमारा, पटेल तुम्हारा, गोडसे हमारा, गांधी तुम्हारा, ये भी हो गया है. So try go beyond the boundaries. Okay, if you can find out. Halal Bahadur Shastri, Nelson Mandela, okay, Woodrow Wilson, Martin Luther King. So be less and less controversial so that you will be not at risk. Okay, so that's the idea there. So do that. First you have to identify, let me see how you have to go. First identify, second you have to see what are the things, different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minimum 4 to 5 things you should identify. And lastly, there is a third question also, how those values have helped you in your life. Okay, how those values have helped you in your life. So it's in the three parts. It's in the two parts. One is what are the values that have inspired you, and second is how those values have helped you in your personal life. Or question can be how those values will be helpful in the civil servant's point of view or for the times to come. So this can be a question. So that's different people, and you can identify different aspects of them. So in fact that will come handy also, because in many of the abstract questions you need to write the examples. So this will come as handy and you can provide them the examples. So this is about the whole the socialization and how the values come from. Next is organization and professional ethics. Sports games also you can write personality. Yes. See, the thing is you can write, but there it is more about disciplined work. It is always better to write because we are writing the exam of civil services. So what you want is your career towards the public service. So why I have specifically picked up these three, because social reformer, something doing for the sake of public. Administrator, so obviously you are going to be, and that is the exam. And political class is also about somewhere about the part of governance. But yes, you can pick up, and if the question is more towards how you have picked up those values, in that case you can write hard work, commitment, वगैरह वगैरह लिख सकते हो आप, and then relate it to the contemporary time, that how hard work is important, how commitment is important, dedication is important, achieving dream is important. So this way you can write. Because your answer is going to reflect your perspective. That's the thing. That's why I have taken the in the last class happiness, how they are going to judge you. Okay, when they are asking the question, they are also going to relate with the you being a civil servant, how you are going to act. So that is how they try to relate with your personal questions. In 2014, 60% of the question invariably had this tail end, that discuss the event from your life, what you have learned in your life, how you relate with your life. So many individual oriented opinions were asked from your history, so that they can get the understanding that how is your inclination with respect to the society. Yes, now second, we have already discussed this, right, that professional ethics and organizational ethics. Second, ये जो बीच वाला था याद आ रहा है, यहाँ पे लिखा था professional ethics and organizational ethics. Here nothing simple, that is there are code of ethics. Every profession and every organization have something called code of ethics and code of conduct. Okay, organization have code of ethics and code of conduct. Code of ethics and code of conduct. So you need to follow these principles whenever you become a part of any organization. That's why it's organizational ethics and professional ethics बोला जाता है. So we have already explained that as long as you are a part of a particular profession and organization, you need to follow those principles. हाँ. Okay. अरे हाँ, हमारे चैप्टर से चलो मैं ये एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. बाकी जो है एक चैप्टर है एप्टीट्यूड एंड फाउंडेशनल वैल्यूज. द होल 3 hours लेक्चर इज ऑन व्हाट यू हैव आस्क्ड. ठीक है, सो वी हैव वन चैप्टर, बट यू कैन राइट एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट एंड एथिक्स. बाकी जो है फाउंडेशनल वैल्यूज में करने वाले हैं हम वो. Okay, just write what is code of ethics and code of conduct. 2 terms. Code of ethics and code of conduct. See, when you join any kind of a profession or organization, so there is a minimum, they will ensure ethical behavior, good behavior or ethical behavior, you as a part of an organization. Ethical behavior, good behavior. Good behavior in terms of not only the behavior, informal behavior when you are working, but how to take the decisions, how to remain impartial, transparent, accountable. Okay, there are various values. In fact, yesterday when I was discussing syllabus, there was one topic, aptitude and foundational values of civil services. So foundational values of civil services, that it was specific to if you join the civil services, there will be certain values, honesty, integrity, impartiality, transparency, empathy, compassion, okay, tolerance. These are the values that you should possess as a part of civil services. But likewise, if you have any other organization and profession, likewise there be different values. Maybe medical ethics may care towards patient is most important value. Here care towards the public service. Are you understanding? So there are certain values which will ensure the ethical functioning or ethical behavior of employees. Now this is ensured in the form of 2 group of set of things. That is, one is called as code of ethics, and this is code of conduct. Code of conduct. What is code of ethics? Code of ethics are the general ethical principles, which ensure good behavior good behavior. General ethical principles which ensure good behavior of an employee. Now, general ethical principles क्या हो सकते हैं? Just example लिखो यहाँ पे. Transparency, honesty, integrity, impartiality. Do not write much because we have to discuss a separate topic for this. Just somebody has asked, I'm writing it down. Transparency, honesty, integrity, impartiality. Now, code of conduct, what is it? It is not a general ethical guidelines. These are the specific rules. Specific rules in the form of do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. The purpose is remain the same, to ensure the good behavior. To ensure the good behavior. Okay, this is a codified specific set of rules in the form of do's and don'ts, what you can do and what you cannot do. So that's about do's and don'ts to ensure the good behavior. Now, examples: you have to respect the women at workplace. You cannot take the gifts or any kind of bribe. Bribe नहीं लिखते, material or financial benefits, because that will have a impact on your decision making. So specifically लिखा जाता है कि आप ये कर सकते हो या ये नहीं कर सकते. Okay, not accepting the gifts. So if you are accepting the gifts or any other material benefits, you will be shown notice. That is, you have violated the code of conduct. In fact, the role is, if you see, this is more important when we are talking about inculcating values, because this is more of a, if there is action, this is a guideline principles in the form of you should have these values in life. These are more of a punitive in nature. Punitive, you understand? Punishment. Okay. This is like a, you do it, otherwise you will be given a notice and therefore you should do it. People follow the code of conduct because of deterrence of code of conduct, that if I don't follow, the organization will take action against me, there will be a show cause notice, okay, the organization will send me the notice, etc., or take any action against me. So because of there is accountability and because there is a punitive thing related with the code of conduct, therefore you follow. Code of ethics is you have been told this is you are supposed to follow. So this is about value reorientation. Value reorientation. Now this is irrespective of whatever is your socialization. Whatever is your socialization, organization will say that these are the values we minimum expect out of you when you are a part of particular profession and organization. So both of them help in ensuring the professional ethics. So broadly, professional ethics means it's code of conduct and code of ethics. Is that fine? Okay. In fact, the whole chapter, that is aptitude and foundational value, is on this. Okay, what are the different professional values from point of view of civil servant, okay, and how to manage and what is its significance, etc. Now write that at national level and this, what are the things that comes into picture. In fact, in India, code of ethics are not written. Okay, I'll tell in that next class also. But code of conducts are written in the form of All India Services Code of Conduct. यहाँ पे example में लिख सकते हो, All India Services Code of Conduct, Central Civil Service Code of Conduct. So code of conducts are written and code of ethics are not yet written. And ARC Administrative Reform Committee second has recommended that there is need to write the code of ethics also, and people should be oriented and trained in that direction. Although this point is, even when it is not written, it does not mean it does not exist. When you go into the Masuri and different recruitment, before the recruitment, the training is there. So training is basically on these values. Okay, code of conduct, code of ethics, to let know that what are the civil service ethical values, what are you expected to do, what are the leadership qualities of the civil servant, etc., etc. Okay. Last, there is a national and state level. What are the consideration when we say about the values? Okay, which values come into play while considering right and wrong, and what should be and sort of an attitude we carry. Yes, first of all, I have written this word, that is nation and state. Are they two same terms or different? Nation and state. Same? Different? If it is different, somebody for someone it is different, then tell me what's the difference. एक जन बताओ कोई भी, raise your hand and tell. हाँ. And state, oh my god. अच्छा, महाराष्ट्र स्टेट, कर्नाटका स्टेट, ओके. इंटरनेशनल में स्टेट बोला जाता है कंट्रीज को. ओके, इंडिया एज अ स्टेट, यूएसए स्टेट, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका. ओके, सो हाँ, यस बताइए. अरे हाँ, एक जन. हाँ, boundary. Okay, fine. Yes, you are quite close. Yes, very good. How does it has a bearing upon the value system? Authority, mostly. Okay. Yes. See, the thing is, why we have to define, because how first we have to understand what is nation and state. This is more of a political term. Yes, somebody has said it's a political term, that this is a country, and what are the features? 4 features are there. One is you should have a defined territory. Your territory is defined. Okay. Then you have a specific population. You have a government, sovereignty, that is supremacy of the government. It means that your country is recognized on a map of world with a specific territory, with a specific population, with a specific government, and that government is supreme internally as well as externally. Okay, that is in the external affairs, in a sense that internationally your government will take all the decisions, etc. So this is a modern state. These are the features of modern state. This is a political term, and this is how we say the country. Country, more in political terms, we call state. Now this is more of a psychological aspect. Psychological aspect. Psychology is something related with the feeling. So this is a feeling of oneness. Feeling of oneness. And this is very important. I am saying this feeling of oneness, and this is a political which is existing. It's an imaginary concept. Okay. It's an imaginary concept. It's not essentially require the specific territory, boundary, etc. It just have a feeling that we belong to one particular unit. Okay, that is a nation. And this feeling of oneness based on some shared features, common features or shared features. Feeling of oneness is based upon some shared or common features. Now this can be, what can be the shared feature? A common language. Common, yes, culture, common religion, common race, common history. Okay, any of the two, or it can be a combination of various things. On the basis of this, you can say that, okay, we are common in this respect. either of the one, or it can be a combination of variety of the things. And you say that we belong to this particular nation. Now, this does not necessarily mean that your things have been identified on the map of world, and you can identify by your own self, but the thing is that you do not enjoy the status of state. Because in a state, when we are saying sovereignty, it means that the other country should also agree that you exist. Are you understanding? So it is more of a imagined concept. Now, the point is, can you give some example of nation? Islamic nation. Islamic State. Bharat is also, yes, very good. India is a nation or not? Definitely, इतना आंसर डेफिनेट नहीं है उसका, इसलिए पूछा. Nation state. What is nation state? Yes, India is a nation or not? A very fundamental question. Is there anyone who want to contradict this idea? No, नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ मैं पहले. हाँ, yes, go ahead. Okay, fine. You are quite close with the explanation. We'll discuss. Let's first understand most obvious things. Like in between Palestine and Israel, where do you put the things? Palestine and Israel. Israel is what? State. And Palestine? Palestine is a state or no? Huh? Palestine is a state? No, it's not state. It is aspiring to become a state. At this point of time, it is just a nation. That since you have to be on a state that international community should recognize. Well, we know that they have the territory, but this is at this point of time so-called disputed territory. वो dotted से दिखाई जाती है. जैसे West Bank है और Gaza Strip है. Okay. So that is in between the Israel. Two nation theory is Israel plus Palestine. So over a period of time, maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, we will have the Palestine as a recognized state. So in case of United Nations, you don't find it as a state representation as a country. So, but there is a feeling of oneness because of the shared feature that Palestine or based upon the religion, say for example. Now, so this is a case where there are nation but aspiring to become state. There can be a state as well as nation, that you are a modern entity also, and plus feeling wise also there is a oneness. Feeling wise oneness, what does it mean? It means that all the people in a particular state in one wise should say that we have this shared and common value, therefore we are a nation also. That makes the nation state stronger, because state is a more of a political entity, because here it is related with the feeling and emotions. So obviously to make a country stronger, you generally say that okay, you have some shared values. That's why in case of a European countries where there is no division with respect to religion, language, etc., etc. So feelings of nationalism is very high because there is a homogenization, homogeneous things that exist. Now coming to an India, when we say about the India as a nation or Bharat as a state. So when we say about the feeling of oneness, now the feeling, अरे आता हूँ उसके ऊपर भी आता हूँ, ठीक है? I'll come to that also because that's a very, very important question, particularly in contemporary time. It has its very much relevance. Now, yes, what I was explaining? Yes, India is a thing. Obviously, we have this all the feature and we recognize it as a state. Now, coming to this part, let's start from Kashmir, north. Now, think of those who are we generally call Indians. It's about the feeling we are saying. We are not saying about political ways. What is the feeling there? Some section of the society feel that they do not belong to India. Okay, that's about the north. Think about east, Nagaland. There is a greater Nagalim movement. That is a secessionist movement. Secessionist movement means they identify. This is not a current event. In fact, way back in 1946, 47 only, okay, they wanted to have a separate, okay, that is a secessionism. So their feeling, politically they are Indian, but feeling wise are less than an Indian because they want that it should be separate. If you go into the West, earlier there was a Khalistan movement, okay, although it has now been like more consolidation and the nationhood has happened. Go in South, there is a feeling of Dravidian identity, okay. There is a Tamil Nadu, Nadu is a nation, okay, so that is based upon the language. They have the Dravidian culture. But again, this Dravidian as well as the Khalistan, over a period of time, when the nation building process, we are trying to integrate with the homogenized feeling of nation. Now these are, now let me say that why there is a problem of being a nation. I am not saying, obviously, कोई अरुंधति रॉय जैसे स्टेटमेंट नहीं करने वाला हूँ मैं कि इंडिया इज नॉट नेशन, बट इंडिया इज अ नेशन इन मेकिंग. इट्स फार फ्रॉम वी कॉल that 1 billion plus population should have a feeling that they attach to one entity called India because they shared something. The problem with India's nation building is, if you take a language, you cannot have one single criteria. Like if you, there was a debate after independence with respect to Hindi as a language. So if you see the whole South part, okay, so there was opposition because we say that Hindi hinterland belt, particularly in the northern belt. So language is divided, and language is not only about the Hindi, but you see that there are multiple languages. So you cannot have one language as a shared cultured criteria. Come to say the religion, again we have a problem because it is a heterogeneous society. There was a concept called Hindu Rashtra, which was Vida Savarkar come up with this idea before the independence. But India has not accepted religion as a criteria for the nation building process. You have a freedom of religion, fundamental right, but that fundamental right has not been the basis of creation of nation, because we have created a secular nation based upon heterogeneous identity of the religion and not Hindu Rashtra. So the word that we use, okay, that is we the people of India belong ourselves to, that is democratic, republic, socialist, secular India. So secular India is, we haven't identified religion as a basis for formation of nation. So that's why there is a problem with respect to, again, nationhood. If you take way of life, that is the religion. Any religion is a way of life for that matter. अरे कोई भी definition दी हो, see, it hardly matters when the particular religion you are taking. Religion is basically when you have a feeling with respect to XYZ religion. Whatever the definition you are giving, but XYZ person is not attached to your religion and he become a part of. The religion is a personal matter. Now you have a liberal definition of your old religion, but religion cannot be criteria. You cannot impose on the others. Okay? So the point here is about, once you take a particular faith and religion in India, we haven't accepted that. If we would have accepted, then in modern times we do not call as a Hindu Rashtra, or we do not call particular any religion and take it as a basis. That's the point here. Now come to the race and the history. Now this is where there is a commonality, that we have a shared history. Rest of the things what we have shared, we have a common national flag, we have a common national anthem, we have a common constitution. Now if you see this national flag, national song, national anthem, constitution, these are the features for nationalism. So we are a nationalist. But the point in India is, these shared history, national flag, constitution, national anthem, are far from having an emotive values. Okay, we really not so much emotively linked to national flag and constitution the way we are emotionally linked to the caste and religion. So what happens, the religious values and the caste values and the cultural values become all the more important, which is not a unifying value. We are not saying India is not a nation. We are saying India is a nation so long as we have to identify what are the commonalities between 1 billion plus. What are the and that has been the basis for our nationhood. The constitution has accepted liberty, equality, fraternity, justice, and secular values as a principle for nation building process. Now, yes, what the Ambedkar has said that constitutional morality is a basis, but the point is constitutional morality is not emotively linked to the Indians, because Indians are emotively linked to the religion, race, caste, etc., language also. And therefore, sometimes these identities become more than the nation. We are also not saying these identities are not important. Fundamental rights guarantee you. It's only being said that this cannot be the basis for nationalism. You have every right and freedom of religion, freedom of caste, freedom of language. These are all fundamental rights. But the fundamental rights for your own private sphere, it is not the basis for creation of nation. Creation of nation is by the shared values. So can you identify like some of the things where you have cultural nationalism, or they say आजकल term आती cricket nationalism. Why there is a term called cricket nationalism? Because at that particular point of time there is a oneness, feeling of oneness cutting across political lines, caste line, religious line, regional lines, etc., etc. And then we identify everybody as a India or everybody as a Bharat. So what is important here to understand why we are discussing under the values, because what you considered as a nation building process, that sort of a value system you will be having. If you consider the religion and the caste and this as a more important feature than even the commonality and the share factors which cut across all the people, then you will become more parochial. And if you if you take the modern values as a basis of nation that is enshrined in the constitution, then that will be a modern idea of the nation state. Have you understood why we are discussing in the values? Values will be defined on the basis of what sort of idea that you have conceptualized for the nationhood. If you have conceptualized on the basis of different language, caste, religion, and etc., or in fact, if you are taking these values are far more important, then these are the hurdles for the nation building process. But as a modern India, we have already accepted constitution will be the modern. We have a freedom of religion, but we haven't taken any religious book as a book for the nation. Okay. We are not governed by Quran, we are not governed by Sharia laws, we are not governed by Vedic laws, we are not governed by Bhagavad Gita. Okay, in fact, the Prime Minister has said that the most important sacred book for the country is Constitution of India. This is the idea of nation. It also does not mean those books are not relevant. Those books are still relevant and you have freedom of religion and culture, but in that particular sphere. Have you understood? So, किस प्रकार से आपकी nationhood define हुई है, उस प्रकार से आपकी value inculcate हो जाती है. Okay, modern values are based upon. Now, if it would have been the homogeneous country like in different countries, so obviously you will take in those common factors and identify the nation. Say, for example, in case of Pakistan, Islam as a basis for creation of nation, because there is a homogeneous identity, but we haven't accepted. That is what, in fact, the two-nation theory was there. Okay, that Muhammad Ali Jinnah has talked about nation should be formed on the basis of religious lines. That Hindu is for the India should be based upon the Hindu, and Pakistan should be based on the basis of Islam. Okay, so Pakistan has went on to go ahead with the idea of Pakistan will be based upon the religion as a basis, but India has not accepted that argument. India has accepted that we are going to accept not religion as a basis, but secular principle as a basis for nation building process. That's why we fail to understand this constitutional and moral values as a basis for nation, because emotively we are linked with sub-national values more closely. Sub-national in a sense that they are not the values for defining the nation. That's the point. Regionalism also, if you have an affiliation for region, nothing wrong about it. In fact, it is not unconstitutional to have love for your region, particular region. But when you take region as a criteria for the nation building process and you say that your region should be a separate political entity like state, then there is a problem. Are you understanding? So now coming to patriotism and this nationalism. Nationalism is about this. What is the basis for your unifying factor? Patriotism, to simply define, It is a love, loyalty, and affiliation for the nation. Patriotism is love, loyalty, and affiliation for a nation or a country. Love, loyalty, affiliation for a country or a nation. Now see, the point here is when the patriotism is defined on the basis of, so there is nothing wrong is having an affiliation, love, obedience and loyalty for a country. But your loyalty when defined on the basis of hatred for other country, then there is a problem. Okay, that there is no more patriotism का extremism आप देखो, fundamentalism देखो, patriotism का अभी जो मैंने words use किए थे, fundamentalism, extremism, absolutism, radicalization. What will it lead into? It will lead into the fascism, because you see that then there is a no country, that country, your love for the country is defined on the basis of hatred for the others. Okay, so that is how it becomes a jingoism. Jingoism, you understand the word? It becomes a jingoism. Jingoism means extreme form of nationalism, that your nationalism is not just love for your own, but also hatred for other country. These days you see that your patriotism is defined how much you hate the Pakistan. Okay, that is how you are patriotic. You have to use 4 or 5 abusive words for the Pakistan. Then you define more patriotic. So that is a jingoism. That is a form of a jingoism, extremism, radicalism, Chauvinism. Chauvinism, you understand? Chauvinist matlab, again, that Chauvinism is a extreme form. Someone who, the male chauvinism hai wo. Okay. Yes. So I hope the point is clear. Patriotism is love, affinity, obedience, truthfulness, whatever you want to do for your particular country. That is a sense of patriotism. Extreme form of any value is not good. Okay. Extreme form of any value will lead into the growth of intolerance. In fact, that's the question we are going to take next. Yes, this is about the determinants of ethics. Determinants of ethics. So you must know this 4 or 5 points. Most important points are of that category, because in next class we are going to do attitude. Next class मतलब खत्म नहीं हुआ है, बता रहा हूँ मैं आगे के, अभी आधा घंटा बाकी है, ठीक है? Attitude and this chapter. So वहाँ पे questions रहते हैं कि if you are posted in a particular district, okay, and in that particular district the patriarchal attitude is prevalent, or attitude towards family planning. People, you have introduced certain techniques of family planning, okay, such as vasectomy, tubectomy, contraceptives. There is a cultural values which stop them from using these contraceptives and this family planning things. If you are posted as an IAS officer, what are the steps that you are going to take in order to change the mindset of this people towards a particular thing? So here you have to use that, what is the role of family, what is the role of school, peer group, culture, etc., etc. Okay, so this is how you have to remember that these are going to be the important parts of socialization, and in various answers you have to use whenever you are asked for the suggestion. In order to change the mindset, change the value system, you have to come back to this agent of socialization in order to write your answer. Okay, when we'll do attitude, things will be more clear there. Now write next heading, that is value conflict. Value conflict and value pluralism. Value conflict and value pluralism. Any example, any country. India is also a nation, but our nationhood is based upon shared value, shared history, constitution, whatever is shared. We haven't taken a parochial criteria as a nation building process. When will the country strong? When political entity as well as feeling, both of them go hand in hand. In case of India, problem is the feeling. Feeling is related with our caste and religion, which are not the criteria for the nation building process. That's the problem. Otherwise, this constitutional values are modern, and we are being dragged with the traditional and parochial values of caste and religion. There is a mismatch. But we have other points also to look at when it comes to the nation. One important point is constitution we should look at when we are thinking about the nation. Have you understood? All of you have understood the idea. That's important. We are not saying that any country. So that's why during the time of this Second World War and this thing, this was actually the intense feeling of nationalism which has led into the Second World War. See, nationalism वो हो गया था जो patriotism के बाद it got converted into jingoism, and jingoism has given rise to the intolerance and therefore clash that has happened. That was you will learn in world history that what are the reasons for First World War, Second World War. You'll learn that how the feeling of nationalism got intensified to an extent that there was a clash of interest between the different nations, leading into the world wars or great wars. Now, right? Yes, क्या लिखा है heading? Yes, value conflicts and value pluralism. Now, I'm giving you a question. This is sort of assignment. 5 minutes. We'll discuss about it. Identify different conflicting values. Identify different conflicting values that are prevalent in society. This is the first. Second, what do you understand by value conflict? What do you understand by value conflict? Value conflict. And what are the negative implications of it? What are the negative implications of it? Or negative cut karto, what are the implications of it? Just scratch this negative. What are the implications of value conflict? Next, how do you manage value conflict? How do you manage value conflict? Okay, so we have to see it in the three different ways. Now, let me say that what you have to do in the first question. Okay, what is the first question? That identify different conflicting values existing in society. You have to identify it in the form of couplets. Okay, couplets in a sense that one value which is in contradiction to the another value, okay, such as socialism and capitalism. Okay, just one example I have given you. So take 5 minutes, identify different couplets, because see, this is the most fundamental for understanding of ethics. Once you have understood, the same thing is going to get repeated in the different forms in all subsequent class. Once you have understood the core concepts, पहले समझ में आया क्या करना है? Conflicting value. Identify all conflicting values that you know. Okay, brainstorm for a while. Take 5 minutes. Identify different conflicting values. हाँ, any field, yes, any field, political field, liberal field, social, economical, any conflicting values. आपका पॉलिटी चालू हुआ है क्या? खत्म होने वाला है, ओके ठीक है। Then it's easy for me to make you understand the things. हाँ हाँ, छोटा सा पूछ लो, नहीं तो आंसर पूछ लो। हाँ डिफरेंट, हाँ पूछो। अरे रेस्ट ऑफ द पीपल कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन दिस। नहीं नहीं, ऐसे नहीं है, कोई भी आइडेंटिटी। भारत जैसे हिस्टोरिकली फीलिंग से अटैच होके किया गया, तो रहने दो ना। कॉमन हिस्ट्री, कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट भी आएगा ना एक। सी इवन व्हेन द डिफरेंट रिलीजन हैज डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट, एक इंडियन कल्चर कल के एक ओवरऑल भी। अरे कोई भी नेम से क्या होता है, इंग्लिश रहने दो, जापानी रहने दो, सो लॉन्ग एज ऑल द पीपल आर थिंकिंग अबाउट इट, दैट्स द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। Bharat and India is just names. Okay, what is important is, are you thinking under that one name you are together or not, and if you are together on what basis? ठीक है। हाँ बताओ ना आप, यही तो मैं बता रहा था। कोई भी कंट्री हो सकती है कि जहाँ पे भी नेशन नहीं है, कंप्लीट नहीं बोला जा सकता। जैसे अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज में जब इंडिपेंडेंस अचीव हुआ था तो उन्होंने क्या किया था, स्केल लिया था। स्केल आगे, स्केल मतलब समझ में आ रहा है, जो उन्होंने मैप के ऊपर डायग्राम बना के स्टेट्स क्रिएट किए थे। तो वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया, जैसे दोनों साइड में एक ट्राइब रहती है, यहाँ पे एक ट्राइब है, यहाँ पे एक ट्राइब है, सेम ट्राइब है, यहाँ से आपने लाइन खींच ली। यहाँ पे भी ऐसे ही स्टेट थी, यहाँ पे T2 है, यहाँ पे भी T2 है, यहाँ पे एक थी, यहाँ पे एक थी, यहाँ पे T3 है। तो वो कह रहा है कि आपने जो है कल्चरल होमोजेनाइजेशन नहीं देखा, आपने सिंपली लाइन ड्रॉ की है। तो यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ नेशनहुड इज़ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग। ठीक है, नहीं ऐसे नहीं बोलना है। लाइक इंडिया इज नेशन इन मेकिंग एंड देयर आर चैलेंजेस ऑफ नेशनलिज्म। हाँ यस, लेट्स डिस्कस नाउ। नहीं और एक मिनट ले लो, बाकी और चिट चैट कर रहे हो आप, ब्रेनस्टॉर्म करो बोल रहा हूँ तो चैटिंग कर रहे हो। यस राइट, प्लीज राइट, ऑल ऑफ यू शुड थिंक एंड राइट। Yes, let's discuss now. What are the different conflicting values? Liberty and equality, okay. अरे एक मिनट ना, लिखने दो। कम्युनिस्ट और सोशलिस्ट एक ही तो वैल्यू है यार। There is a degree of change, okay, we'll see that. हाँ, capitalist and socialist लिखो, capitalist and socialist। हाँ एक ही है वो, और बताइए, एक बताओ यार, raise the hand and tell। So many hands। democracy and republic or democracy are not, dictatorship, yes, democracy and autocracy। Yes, secular and religious। Nationalism versus, okay, yes। In fact, this is important to understand, pay attention here, regionalism versus nationalism। I'm writing one more here, nationalism versus humanism or globalism। Nationalism versus universalism। Can you identify this? दोनों समझ में आ रहा है? See here, regionalism is when we are talking about state, okay, in India's state. So when it compares to the nation and state, this particular region, this becomes modern, more modern, and this becomes less modern. But you have to see that nationalism is also one form of regionalism. When you discuss on the global level, that is a nationalism versus universalism. All of you have understood this. In between this, this is more modern. In between this, this is more modern. Okay. Yes, what else? Monarchy and republic. Can write. Yes, what else? Individualism versus collectivism. This is very important. Individualism versus collectivism. ठीक है. But it's more of a manifestation of value. Okay, lack of yes, sensitivity will get reflected. Okay, I'll put it more different way. Traditional and conservative values versus or rational and modern values. Traditional and conservatism versus rational and more modern. Non-violence, violence is because of peace as a value and peace has no value. Okay, that's a manifestation. Absolutism versus relativism. Okay, in fact, that's the answer what we are going to do. But just write absolutism versus relativism. Very good. कौन है? किसने बताया? मेल आर मोर फेमिनिस्ट. फीमेल से वैल्यू नहीं आई है. ओके, मेल इज बदनाम बेकार में हो जाते हैं. क्या बताया? पेट्रियार्कल वर्सेस फेमिनिज्म लिखूंगा यहाँ पे. पेट्रियार्कल वर्सेस फेमिनिज्म. Radical feminist ITR anti-main. Okay, it's more about the gender equality. Gender equality. Yes, what you have said? Egalitarian. Very good. It's a very important value. Versus oligarchy. Oligarchy or hierarchy. Hierarchy versus egalitarianism. What is egalitarianism? Yes, idealistic, sub-idealistic is equality. All are equal. There is no hierarchy. Hierarchy. Okay, बस हो गया. अब let's discuss. ठीक है? Because rest of the values will also come under this. Okay, so what we are trying to first see, why we have taken this classification. See, some of the values are absolutely what you can say that not in sync with the time. Some of the values may be conflicting with each other, but both can exist. Are you understanding? The two, there may be some values here so contradictory to each other that they are not sync with the time, even when they are the values. But with the modern time, we do not say that it is ethically correct to carry this sort of values. In some couplets, both values we should carry, but there is a conflict. Now, some of the values where they are not in sync with, we have to show a more modern rational outlook in order to get out of those values and be more rational, more constitutional, more legal based this way. Where there is a conflict in between the two values, in such cases, what is required is, yes, what is required where there is a conflict? There is a requirement of value pluralism, multiculturalism, or value of tolerance. Value of tolerance says that there is an attitude of fairness towards the other values. Your value is important, there is no doubt, but it does not mean other value is not important. Now the problem, this is the first part of the question. Second question kya tha? Yes, what are the implications of value conflict? See the implication here, implications kab aa jate hain? If values are there and you are tolerant with others' values, there are no implications, negative implications. The value can coexist. Okay, value can coexist without causing any harm to anyone. Okay, and that can exist alongside. But it becomes a problem when particular one value become a radical, extremist, absolutist, and fundamentalistic. Fundamentalistic in a sense that the problem is not with respect to value per se, but the problem with respect to, that is, extremism. Extremism of any particular value which will mean that it will come in, because everything is coming in conflict here. So that conflict, when there is a lack of tolerance, it will grow into the intolerance, and intolerance will grow into the sort of conflict between different groups of people who hold different values. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Value in themselves are conflicting, but if there is a tolerance that is attitude of fairness with respect to others' value, even when it is not related to you, that value, if it is there, there is no conflict. Conflict arises when you think of in a radical manner, extremist manner, and think that other values should not exist at all, and your value is the important value. Now, so consequences of value conflict is basically, value conflicts will lead into the intolerance between two communities, and intolerance will convert into the violence between the two communities, fight between the two communities. That will again a threat to the nation building process, it causes violence, etc., etc., all negative things. Now let's analyze. I'll take 5 more minutes, okay? Now in this case, let's see here, I'm picking up some value here. Traditional conservative versus rational and modern values. Now, can you tell within this one or two values, traditional and conservative versus rational and modern? हाँ, wearing of burqa और सती, हाँ अब तो वो चली गई है, अभी जो existence है, खाफ पंचायत. Okay, खाफ पंचायत is a classical example of traditional and conservative values versus modern values. Now in case of Khaf Panchayat, if you are marrying in a same Gotra, like a group of people will think that it's wrong thing, and therefore you are bringing a dishonor to the family if you marry in the same Gotra. Since there is a dishonor to the family, they think that by killing the couple, we can restore the honor of family. That's why it is called as honor killing. Honor killing is to, by killing someone, we can restore the honor. Now this is something, one value we have picked up, which has no role with respect to the modern constitutional rational values. Because modern constitutional rational values, freedom of speech and expression, these are the fundamental rights, okay, which are granted to you. Now in this situation, let's think of, there are people who are radical, now more and more radical in nature, conservative and traditional. Now more and more conservative, then there is a value conflict. More conservative, more extreme, more radical, they will try to suppress rational and modern values. It will come into the conflict, it will take the shape of violence. Are you understanding how value conflict, after radicalization, you impose? Here I am talking about some value which has no role in the contemporary time. But even when two values are existing, कोई और दो value ले लो, capitalism and socialism, these are the two different modes of economic redistribution or economic things. And if you become a radical in both the cases, okay, here if you go more radical, it become a fascism. Here if you go more radical, communism, okay, or that sort of where we see the violent revolution. So any kind of sort of violence is not correct, and there will be a conflict in between the two values. Here both should exist. So here the point is to show tolerance towards each other. Okay, in some cases you have to need to show tolerance, in some cases one value should go. Have you heard of term called moral policing? What is a moral policing? What is a moral policing? Is there anything moral about, how many of you think that moral policing is morality and it's a good thing? Please raise the hand. Moral policing is policing for the good reason. What is moral policing? Anybody? किसी को पता नहीं है? हाँ, yes. Okay, so can you give which institution and which values? Love, okay, yes. On the Valentine Day, you will see that moral policing. हाँ, जिसका कुछ होता नहीं है 13th February तक वो moral policing कर देता है. And there is a hypocrisy also. They wait till 13th February last night. Nothing happens, they become moral policemen. Generally क्या होता है when obviously the couples are expressing etc. the vandalization of those forces, that this is against the culture. Now the point is, when you are against the culture, this is a value conflict. Value conflict is traditionally you are thinking that the couple should not like interact and sort of express the love. PDA जो बोलते हैं, ठीक है? So the one who is a conservative and traditional will try to, first there is a conflict. Now more radical, you do not have a tolerance towards the others. You become intolerant. More radical, you try to harm. More radical, you try to kill them and impose them. This is called moral policing. Moral policing is an example of value conflict. ये जो लिखा है, consequence of value conflict. One of the consequences, it get reflected in the form of moral policing, that one group of people which are holding any particular value consider it to be the truth, and they try to impose it on the other group of people. Okay, so ये जो arches, hallmark वगैरह जलाए जाते हैं, okay, that's a sort of a moral policing. Is any other example of moral policing? Dress code of women. बहुत सारे आजकल politician, traditional, conservative, खास पंचायत वगैरह बताते हैं कि the reason for the rape is because the length of the skirt was less, etc., etc. This is an example of moral policing. Moral policing is conservative values that are imposing. Conservative नहीं है, कोई भी value हो सकती है. It can be any value which you become so intolerant that you take a law and order in your hand and you try to impose that particular value on another group of people. Have you understood? So these are the manifestations of the value conflict. We will discuss more of this. Patriarchy, gender equality, ये भी उसी का part है. Okay. Ban on beef is a rule, and then imposing the other thing is moral policing. See, as long as it is a law, because it has now become a law in some of the states, it is banned. So it has got a state sanction. So state sanction is not moral policing. But then less than a state sanction, you take a law and order situation and then beat them, then it is moral policing. See, second also, even if it is a law, it's for the state enforcement machinery. Like police will come and capture and follow the due process of law in order to punish who is eating the beef if the beef is banned in a particular state. But again, beef is banned and a group of people, so there is a term called vigilante group. Okay. So हाँ गौ रक्षक वगैरह ये जो vigilante group है, so that is if they are doing, then it is a moral policing. Okay, so write assignment on the moral policing. What do you understand by moral policing? Examples of moral policing, and what is the way forward? How do you tackle the moral policing? You can expect this question. Okay. Question is, what is a moral policing? What is a moral policing? What are the causes of moral policing? What is a moral policing? What are the causes of moral policing? Give certain examples of moral policing. And what is a way forward? What is the solution? What is a way forward? Okay, so this can be also asked in the form of case study. Okay, some sort of examples can be given. Just in 1 minute just. The third question kya tha? What is a way forward? Way forward is following the constitutional, moral, rational values in few cases, and traditional values should go. That is one. And in second, where both values are constitutionally and legally permitted, there you require to show the tolerance. So the answer was actually value pluralism and multiculturalism, for which the India is known. Okay, value pluralism means plural value can coexist. Multiculturalism is an idea where different religion with respect to cultural tolerance and religious tolerance can coexist together. Have you understood? So value conflict, manifestation of value conflict, and solution towards it. Okay. So that is it. I think the classes is in the next week only directly. Okay. Thank you so much. If anybody has any doubt, one can meet me there separately.